Hey everybody, it's me, Tammy B, and this is the Hollywood Divas review. This is episode number 5 of season 2, and it was called Damage Control. So basically the episode starts off pretty much, it seems like the next day from last week, because the episode starts off with Rashawn at Lisa's house. And Lisa had a really nice house. The kitchen was really nice. I like the sink because it had this long nozzle. I was like, ooh, that'll be way easier washing my dog. But anyway, so it kind of started off with a little duel scene between Lisa and Rashawn, kind of recapping their version of what happened, and then Paula and Forrest in the park. So I guess she was working all night, so they met the next day at the park for Forrest to tell Paula his version of what happened. And of course it was different sides. I mean, one thing about Lisa, she did tell Rashawn that she wants to get to a point where they are no longer arguing and nothing ever comes to physical blows or almost blows again, which was good that she, did kind of bring that up. And then Paula and Forrest conversation. I mean, of course, it was just his version. I guess he was saying he felt antagonized as a man, so that's why he got to catch a bottle. And Paula kind of checked him, like, look, don't ever let anybody make you get out of your character. Like, regardless of what somebody say or do, like, you are not supposed to react in violence. And I agree with that. That little bit of piece of advice. And of course, Paula was full of shade, because Forrest told her about how they all was saying that he didn't write the White Sister. So she was like, who supposedly wrote it? Countess? And she was like, with her spending $29,000 on a surgery that I could barely even tell that she got. I was like, dang. But first of all, I was like, I hope she really didn't spend no $29,000 for that surgery. But just for her to say that like that on camera was like super shade, because she gonna see it, and I know you upset, but come on, you didn't have to go that low of a blow. And then what was that other shady thing she said? Oh, she was talking about Rashawn was like in his no name producing self. And I guess they brought up a video that he did do, and it was called A Christmas in Compton. And of course I had to laugh at the name. I was gonna say, y'all hear that noise? This is my dog jumping. I'm gonna introduce her. This is Fancy. She a little scruffy. I call myself doing my own grooming, but I don't know how long this gonna last because it don't look as cute as the groomer. So anyway, she's 5 years old. This is my little pooch. I've had her for 5 years. Say hi, Fancy. Okay. So anyway, well, she's about to be 5. So anyway, the little shade that they threw about oh boy not doing any movies, but hey, even if he did only do A Christmas in Compton, like I don't know how many credits do you guys have as writer or producer before this movie. So I don't know. So give him his little Compton props for his little shade in Compton, and he did help at the end of the day. So and no shade to the little bootleg movies, because I went through this little phase where I bought a lot of bootleg movies, y'all, and it was like $1 on Amazon plus shipping, and I don't even know how I got involved in that, but it was this one period I was buying a whole bunch of little straight to DVD movies, and they pretty good. Like especially all black cast, so I had to support. Let me see. It was one called Wifey with Brian Hooks. Brian Hooks got a couple of them. He had one called The Luau. That was pretty funny. Is this one other one called Out on Parole? It had Bishop Don Juan on there, Snoop's uncle. One called Watermelon Heist with John Amos. That was a good little hood movie, straight to DVD. It was this one with D. Ray Davis, the comedian. It was called Frankenhood. I like that movie. And I still got all those movies here too. And The Block Party. It was with I don't remember the main guy, Tori something I want to say, but Clifton Powell was in it. So hey, somebody had to direct them, and they made money, so that's better than nothing. So you better shoot. And while I'm naming all these movies, hopefully somebody hear it and put me in one of them. Shoot, I'll be in it. I mean, hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? And come on, Paula, you've been in 59 million movies, and I know a lot of them were straight to DVD too. So come on now. But so that was that little shade on that. The next scene was Countess visiting her stylist or visiting her manager Nori, and she was just complaining that the stylist wasn't doing his job or whatever. So they decided to kind of have lunch, and of course, it was emphasis on Countess going to lunch or preferring lunch. I don't know if they be doing that on purpose or maybe I just be catching it, but it just always seemed like they just put extra emphasis on anything with Countess and food. And I think it's funny on one hand, but I don't know, it just seems so shady from the cameras and producers. But hey, it is what it is. And I'm a foodie too, so people probably be giving me the side eye all the time. I be talking about food myself, so hey. Um, let's see. The next thing was everybody went to Lisa's house, and I guess she was just having kind of like a little party. And she looked really cute. Her makeup was really good. Lisa's makeup looked really good in that scene at the house party. Golden came, and she has this tradition, Chinese tradition, where you take off your shoes when you come to her house, and she has kind of socks for, I guess, anyone who doesn't already. I just want you to sit. Um, she has socks laid out for anyone who maybe doesn't have any. But Golden didn't take hers off. So I don't know if that's kind of being rude or being defiant or is it optional. But I noticed that everybody took off their socks except for Golden. Oh, speaking of Golden, do y'all watch Have and Have Nots? If y'all do, check out my Have Nots reviews. And yesterday, the doctor on there, the doctor who treated the son Quincy Jr. for his child support case, that was Maya's mama. I was like, go ahead, Miss Wilkes, getting you some acting jobs and playing a doctor. I was like, okay, Maya's mama. So that was cute. Let's see what else. Okay, so they were having a event at Lisa's house. It was, of course, the girls, and Sean was there, and there was a few other people. Paula came last, and she had this little flower, like this small little flower, like right here, and I was like, it looked kind of crazy right there. I was like, you trying to hide some new growth, or was your track lifting up? Because it was just one little flower and not one like all right here or whatever. So that flower was a little weird to me, but hey. And I think Lisa kind of probably thought something too, because she was like, oh, I see you got flowers, you bringing peace. I was like, girl, that flower looked crazy. And so then they all go sit down. So the girls, I feel like mostly Golden and Lisa, they kind of was like, oh, let's go sit on the couch. So to me, they brought it up to Paula, this whole thing that happened with Forrest. Because honestly, it seemed like she was just going to come in and be cool and just, enjoy the event, but they wanted to talk about it. And see, I didn't really agree with that because there was a whole bunch of people there. Like, why would you talk about a business matter or a fight in front of other people? I mean, the other people seemed like they was just eating, drinking, doing their own thing, and they wasn't really paying attention, but I don't know, they brought it up. So at first it was just the girls, the four of them, because Elise was doing a play apparently. So it was just Countess, Golden, Lisa, and Paula sitting on the couch, and they just started saying, hey Paula, did Forrest tell you what happened? So she got like one sentence out, and of course Forrest's version is gonna mention Sean because he was there. So she was like, all Forrest said was Sean kind of rose up at him, and instantly Sean was like, what? And then just ran over there. So I do think that, whether he was right or not, the fact that he jumped in the conversation when they weren't trying to talk about it with him, to me, it made him seem extra. So instantly he was like, wait, what? He said I did what? And then instantly Paula was like, nope, I'm not doing this right now. And I kind of agree with that because it wasn't the right place. Now, I think Paula probably would have said that regardless if it was the right place. But in this sense, Paula came off right because it wasn't the right time. They wasn't there for that. And it wasn't the right place with all those people around. So she told everybody bye. And when she said bye to Sean, she said, bye, girl. And then he was like, bye. And he called her the B word. Just because I guess he felt that was a diss for Paula to say bye, girl, to him. And at least even like Lisa and Golden was like, nah, Sean, don't do that, because he called her out of her name. Now, I know some friends call each other B words back and forth, and maybe it's cool with them, but you could tell he didn't mean it in a friendly way, and he was out of pocket. Like, even if she said bye, girl, he could have said something like, no, don't call me that, or he could have just said, I'm not cool with that, but bye anyway, or whatever. He could even said something smart, but he didn't have to, call her that. But so that's what happened. So she stormed downstairs, and then the girls go follow her, so they talking outside. And so Golden was just telling her, look, I don't want to work with Forrest. I don't like how he acted. And I think we should actually take Forrest and Sean. So that was nice. So even I do appreciate the fact that Golden at least was saying, like, how about no Forrest or no Sean? Both of the people who seem to be the most irate in the situation. So that was one idea that I appreciated from Golden. But Paulo's like, he has the rights. And I wonder why she keeps saying that. Is there some, I guess there is, Forrest said there is some legal document. So yeah, if there is a legal document, that will be hard to cut Forrest out. But like Golden said, I guess they could sell it. But if they sell it, there's no guarantee that the person who they sell it to is going to hire them. They could take the story and reshoot the whole thing. So, but maybe they could sell it with that caveat, like, hey, we're selling the story so you can produce it, but it has to be with us. But so I don't know. That's what I do agree that is the best idea, but at the same time, I do understand Paula's standpoint. Like, hey, this was somewhat my idea, so to try to take it from us is too much. And then Golden always taking jabs at Paula's husband. Like, I know he's not the greatest person, or so it seems, but instantly she's made a comment about at home. And Lisa kind of said that too. Is this how he is at home? Or it seemed like because you castrate him at home, he be acting crazy and trying to be all manly in the field. And I'm glad Paula was like, why are y'all so concerned with my home life? And I agree with that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, whether she be wrong or not, or whether Forrest be wrong or not, when I get into an argument with my homegirl, I'm not going to be like, are you like that because your husband did this at home? Or, or if something happened with me and my husband, my homegirl not going to be like, next time she see my husband, oh, your wife got you in control. Like, you don't just say stuff about people's marriages. That's serious. And I don't know if it's because Golden never been married, or not that we know of seem to ever had a long-term relationship, but she is kind of disrespectful towards the relationship. Like, you can have business issues, but you got to know when to, like, not take digs. And Golden just always doing that. But anyway, so Paula was done and she walked off. And it's funny because, of course, during all this, Countess just sipping her champagne, doing her eyebrows, sipping her champagne. It was just so funny how they always catch her doing that. And and then they were still kind of fighting, or the fight was out. So Countess passed by the sock table and she steals 2 pairs of socks and put it in her jacket. I was like, Countess is crazy. And it was this other scene earlier when she was shopping with her homegirl and she referred to her haircut as a Boo Boo Kitty haircut. And I don't know. I don't know about that one. Boo Boo Kitty from Empire got that little short, cute hairstyle, and she got this short, little, cute weave, but hers and Boo Boo Kitty's don't look the same. So that was that. So the next thing is Golden's date, and I'm just like, maybe just because she's so crazy, I'm just kind of like ill with any scene with her alone. But another thing, it just seems so fake. So she went over to his house and he answered the door in a suit jacket. Now, at first, I thought they were going to go out. Like, maybe she came to him and then they were going to leave. But the date was at his house. So you mean to tell me you got on a suit jacket in your house? Like, I was just like, okay, with the suit jacket. It was a nice jacket, though, but... So he blindfolds her and starts feeding her stuff, and then they kiss, and then they go outside and talk some more. So he did have a nice spread. Some of that little food looked good. I was like, man. And he said he made it. So I was like, ooh, you a good cook. I hope he wasn't lying, but he seemed like the type that could cook like that. And, she said he's a music producer, and it seems like he got a nice amount of money. That house was really nice, and she actually said something like, you seem too materialistic or something like that. I want to know the real you. Because he was just saying stuff like, oh, I think we're meant to be together. And, he just mentioned, he was a little, I don't know. I just didn't really catch his vibe. He do seem a little bit younger than her. And it was just something a little, I don't want to say off about him as a person. He could be a great person, but it just didn't seem like they had chemistry. And I'm glad that Golden is not so desperate that she didn't even look over that. Because she was like, it's something about you that I'm not just sure yet. And I don't want to let my guards down or whatever. And she said something about having a 6 month rule. I'm like, girl, nobody want to care about your little rule because I don't know. I just feel like when you advertise that you have a rule, you do it more so for the response or maybe for the so-called respect you get. If you have that rule, just let that be your internal thing between you and the man. Like the world don't need to know, because then of course if they get together, people gonna be asking them all the time, did you get it yet? Did you get it yet? Is it 6 months up? Like, so have a rule. I mean, yeah, you should have rules, but keep them to yourself or between you and who you're dating and maybe your friends or whatever. Um, so then Countess and her manager Nori, they go meet with the stylist, and I think his name was Quinion or Keon or something like that. And they go to this, I think a wing spot. So here we go again with Countess and the food. So she gets to the counter and she was like, "Can I have the usual?" I was like, as every single corner on fast food place around here I go to. But do they know me enough for me to say the usual? Like if you go there to say give me the usual, that is a lot of wings, girl. So I was like, oh, okay, give her the usual. So anyway, clearly Countess is on her manager's side. The manager told Countess that she's calling the guy. He never answers. He never confirms if he got an outfit for this new event. And Countess is telling him, like, look, I only want to be able to call one person. I want to be able to call my manager and her tell me we got the stuff, it's done, and boom, that's it. I don't want her to have to be like, oh, can you call Kiwan and see, if we got the stuff, or if I call her, if Countess calls the manager, she don't want the manager to be able to say, oh, well, I didn't talk to him. I don't know if we got the stuff. So I do understand where she's coming from. But honestly, to me, it seemed like they ganged up on the boy. And they've been knowing him for a long time. So clearly this has been going on. And maybe they're just fed up with it. And of course, maybe just how the cameras cut it. But instantly, it just seemed like the managers just start going off on him. Like, I called you and then this happened and this happened and da 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 da. And in his defense, he was saying, I told you that morning I was getting the stuff. All day I was getting the stuff. When you called me, I was busy. I went to go see the producers. I had them approve the outfit. Da 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 da. So he had an excuse of why he handled her the way he did. And then Countess jumped in. She was like, she didn't like the fact that he went to the producers to show the outfit. Now, the thing is, Countess, if somebody is producing something and they're supposed to be a certain look and they are supposed to produce it, I don't see any reason with him taking a lot of stuff to them, they narrow it down, and then him taking it to you like, here's the 5. Because come on now, do you really want to try on 20 outfits and then have him take it to the stylist, to the producer? Because what if they don't pick it? So if he did really do that, I don't see the problem with that. But it just seemed like whatever he said, it was gonna be a null and void because they was fed up, and she was just like, "You're fired." Like, so I honestly didn't like the way they fired him because I don't know. I just don't like business like that. I feel like even when you're friends, there's a line between being a professional and being a friend. Whether you're hiring, whether you're giving direction, or whether you're firing, it still should be some professional level. And then honestly, they could have just had a talk. Maybe they could have got it together. But if they didn't get it together, maybe Countess could have fired them 1-on-1 because, like she said, that's been her friend, and he's been down all of this time. But, I know her manager is her friend too, and clearly the manager is more of a friend. So, hey, that was that. Kiwan Gone or Quinyon or whatever his name was. So the next scene was between Paula and her mama, and they went to an oxygen bar. And I've actually never really heard of that, so that's pretty interesting. I wonder, I might try something like that. I probably have to look into it and see what's the pros and cons and see if it's FDA approved. So Paula wants to talk about how the White Sisters Project went haywire, but the mom wanted to talk about Paula. She was like, look, I want to talk to you. I don't like, the choice that you made in a husband, and I think you have a control issue. And I think we should go see a pastor about it. Now, I don't know how long they've been married, but the son, I mean, they could have got married after the son, but the son is in grade school, at least first grade, because I think I remember them saying he's going to first grade. So they've been together or married for at least 5 years. And I'm like, come on, after 5 years, you can't just keep telling somebody you don't like their husband. That, it becomes disrespectful, especially if the person's like, look, I love him, I want to be with him. Once they tell you that, what can you do? You say your piece and you leave it. Every single conversation can be, I don't like your wife, I don't like your husband. So the mom do kind of need to let off on that, but I do understand, like, just her being a mother, just wanting to try to help her daughter. But so Paula agrees to go to the pastor, and she asks her mother, if the pastor kind of mediates this thing, will you finally let it die? And the mother said yes. So I do like the fact that the mother agreed. So Lisa, Golden, and Countess kind of hang out. Lisa brings over some weed, different colors, and they all trying it. That was pretty cute. They was just playing around in the hair, taking pictures, and they said they looked like the Spice Girls, and I had to laugh because, girl, I used to love the Spice Girls. That Spice World movie, oh my gosh, I've definitely seen that like 5 times. Like, I remember that's on video. For me, when that came out, we still had video stores. So me and my little brother used to go to the video store and used to get like 3 for $5 or something like that. So he'd pick a movie, I'd pick a movie, and then we'll pick a mutual movie. And I would pick the Spice Girls, and he would be like, oh, not the Spice Girls again. So that was cute. Golden knew the song, and she even did one of the Spice Girls voices. So I was like, okay, that was a cute scene for Golden, showing her a little bubbly and friendly. So that was cute. Then they asked Golden about her date, and she told them he seemed a little stuffy and a little kind of like materialistic, or what word did she use? I can't remember what word she used, and then instantly Countess was like, no, I don't like that for you. So I guess we'll see what's going on with that on the date. So I think the last main scene basically is the pastor thing. So Paula goes to meet with the pastor first, and I've seen him before. I can't think of his name. I meant to write it down, but I didn't feel like rewinding it. And but I've seen him before, and he's a pretty good speaker. And they talk one-on-one, and she tells him that she's not comfortable with Forrest having mediocre jobs, and there was even a point where he had a mediocre job, and she was like, you need to quit that job, come with me to Detroit for this gig, and if you don't do it, I'm gonna sleep with other people. I was like, dang, like, you don't tell your husband that, like, or your wife, like, if you don't do what I say, I'm a cheat. That's harsh words. So even at that, the pastor's like, okay, maybe you have a little bit control issue, and we need to work on that. So later, Forrest and the mom comes, and basically it comes out that Paula was molested when she was 5 years old, and she said once the mother find out, she did kind of, rectify the situation, but the mother revealed she never forgave herself for that, and Paula kind of broke down crying, and Paula broke down crying on the boat, and it was out of nowhere. So this breakdown crying, to be honest, and she's an actress, I really couldn't tell if this was for real crying or not, but I don't want to play with molestation because that is a real serious issue, and thank God nothing like that really ever happened to me. And I definitely feel for anybody that has happened to. Hopefully the tears were real because that's a real subject. And Paula was like, I'm sorry that you haven't forgiven yourself for that. And I just want to let you know that I do forgive you for that. And then the pastor pointed out that the way the mother treats Paula, that's how Paula treats the husband. Like, she kind of manipulates everything, because Paula said she feel like the mother manipulates everything. She's a little bit conniving, and Paula kind of feels like everything she done in life was based off from the mother. So somebody pointed out, I don't know if it was the mother or the pastor, but like, hey, well, that's how you're treating Forrest. You're in control of everything. You're manipulating everything. You're trying to govern everything. So, and maybe that's where you get it from. So now that the mother express her sorriness, you express that you forgive her for the molestation and all the other stuff, maybe now you can just take a breather, 24 hours, get your mind right, and maybe now you can start treating Forrest with a little bit more respect, and maybe he can also step up. And Forrest said, I do feel like I could do a lot more or whatever, and so maybe once that happens, their marriage will be a little bit better. So I'm actually eager. I hope they do get it together, because I am a cheerleader for Black love, and I do want them to get it together, and it's never too late. I know after so much you do have to end up calling it quits, but it's never too late. If both parties are willing, it can work, because so far it doesn't seem like they've been through something that's not fixable as of yet. So hopefully everything goes smooth with that. Other than that, that was pretty much it. You know what? This episode, they really did have some cool little music. The first 2 scenes, it was a little ratchet music playing in the background, and I was like, oh, that's kind of, I was feeling them those songs. I had to look them up. I was hoping they did like on Love and Hip Hop, like write the little song and the artist on the bottom, but I didn't see that. So, but it was a few cool little songs they was playing in the background. I was like, all right, Todd Tucker and his homie with your little producing skills, got the little cuts playing in the background. So that was cool. Hopefully they get one of Countess's songs in the background. Or hey, I don't know if maybe that one of them songs was her. So that's it. So the previews for next week look pretty good. Golden looks like she's having her launch party. She's gonna do a photo shoot for the pillows. Oh, and she mentioned her pillows at Lisa's house. Now I know when you selling something, you try to throw it in everywhere, but you gotta sell stuff without dissing nobody. You know what I'm saying? So when she was at Lisa's house, she saw Lisa's pillows and she was like, "Oh, I'ma fix that," or "I can get you better than that." I'm like, now, truth be told, those pillows did look a little dry compared to the palatialness of her place. But come on now, you better sell a little bit nicer than that, So we'll see her pillow line, and we'll see the photo shoot, and it looked like they had I don't know if it was I can't remember if it was a cheetah or a tiger. I can't remember what animal they had that's going to be in there, but it was a good look, the photo shoot. And then Lisa appears to be having some type of brunch for her mother who has cancer. And it looks like a really nice lunch. And I know they don't want to invite Forrest, so don't be no drama, but Forrest does show up. So we'll see what that brings. And that was pretty much it. So that was Hollywood Divas. So there you go. You guys know what's up. Give me the thumbs up on the video. Hit me up on Twitter, you guys. Send me something. I'll send you something back. My Twitter is TammyB_, and my Facebook is It's Me, Tammy B. So I'll look forward to just communicating with everyone. Just remember to thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, share videos with anybody you know who may watch these shows, and I look forward to talking to you. I don't know if do you guys watch Flex and Shawnee's show? It's really good. It's on OWN Network. It's the second season, and from what I heard, when they debuted this second season, it was like the #1 show on the network so far. So it's a pretty good show, positive show about Black family. You guys know Flex Alexander, or he's a comedian. He was also the father on 101, and Shawnice Wilson, the singer, When I Close My Eyes. They're married. They have 2 children, and then Shawnice's mother and stepdad stays with them. Her uncle Spirit also stays with them, and then her cousin Ruba. So it's a nice little family dynamic. It's pretty good. They always have some nice little scenes. I totally forgot why I even brought it up, but it's a good show. Check it out. I was thinking about reviewing it, but I know it's almost halfway in, so I don't know if I will, but maybe I'll just mention it here and there. But it was a pretty good scene. Shawnee's seems like a cool person. She kind of has some qualities that I can recognize in myself about just, kind of just loving the family life and not want to be confrontational and want everything to just run smoothly or whatever. So she's funny, and they once again, like I said, I'm a cheerleader for Black love, so they have a cool little marriage. And on this last episode that I watched today, Flex was doing a photo shoot at the house, so these girls was rubbing oil on him, and lo and behold, right when 2 young hot girls are rubbing oil on his body, she walks in the house. So it's like she come home and her husband is getting oil rubbed on him by some women. So she walk in like, what the hell are you doing? So it was crazy. And there was this other scene with their little cousin Ruba threw a party. And I guess the party got out of hand. The police were called, and he spent the night in jail. And he was only in the holding cell, but of course he was going on and on. I was in jail, and so they were kind of getting on like, you lucky, you need to go back to jail. Throw the party while we gone, or da 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 da. So it had some cool little moments on there. And there's this YouTuber named Glozell. She was also on, I don't know what it was actually called, but she got to interview Barack Obama, and she was on there because the cousin Ruba has it. I guess he's doing a YouTube channel in his bedroom called In Bed with Ruba, and he invited her to be on as his first guest, and she was like so set on meeting Flex. Like when she got there, Flex wasn't there, and by the time they finished the video, Flex wasn't there. She was like, "I thought you said I was gonna meet Flex. I thought you said I was gonna meet Flex," and she was like, "I'm not leaving till I meet Flex." So he had to basically drag her out the door, and it was so funny. But he ended up inviting her back over, and she actually got to meet Flex. So it's a cool little show, and it has a few little funny moments. So you guys check that one out on the OWN network, and let me know. Hit me up on Twitter or respond in the comments. Let me know if you guys watch it, and maybe we can do some reviews on that show too. So all right, you guys, take care, have a good night, and see you next time.